So for those who may be joining us for the first time, my name is Aisha Taylor Issa, founder and CEO of the Sisters in Business Expo, the country's only multi-city small business expo with a specific and intentional focus on entrepreneur women of color. And we are so excited about what God is doing in this movement and with this brand. Some really dope things are happening. So I'm going to bring on our very special guest for tonight, LB. And in church, we say the best way to let a preacher introduce themselves is to let them preach. So I'm going to let Lakia introduce herself in just a minute. So let me just bring her on.
Yeah, share this video. Tag your friends, share it, tell people to join us. We're about to have a really dope conversation with LB. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey. And you don't want your people to miss it. So share the video, tag people, tell them to come on in the room.
Yes.
Because we are about to have a chat with my girl. So welcome.
Hey, lady Aisha.
I can't live it down.
I'm so happy to see you. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Everything is good. Life is good. No complaints.
That's a blessing. That is a blessing.
It is.
Are those the blinds that you and your baby open every morning?
Hello to the new day. Hello to the new
I love
day.
it. It's so sweet. She's so sweet. Oh my God.
Thank you. Well, let's pray that she acts right tonight, okay?
I know she. That's all right. Tell her to come on in.
No.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm so glad to have you with us for tonight's Founders Chat. I'm just going to tell people a little bit about you, and I'm going to let you tell them about you. So Lakia LB Brandenburg, also known as the Wife Coach, is an amazing wife and marital and relationship coach who has this incredible brand that is really empowering and equipping and changing the lives of wives and wannabe wives or used to be wives, just women all over. And we were fortunate to have her with us in Atlanta for last year's expo as the moderator for our superpower panel. I was connected with LB through Coriel, and they are both amazing women who are doing great things everywhere, but are based in Atlanta. And so I wanted to have LB with us tonight so she can share her story, share her tips, her experience, her expertise, her journey around entrepreneurship, particularly with creating such a niche and a unique brand. Because I ain't gonna lie, when Coriel first told me about you, I was like, what is a wife coach?
Who that woman?
But it has been so amazing to follow you, to be a part of your community, to watch your videos, and just to see the impact that you're having. So without further ado, welcome to the Sisters in Business Expo Founders Chat. And would you please tell the folks a little bit about you?
Of course I will. Thank you so much for having me, because this right here is what I love to do. I love to share exactly what I do. Just for the folks who may not know what a wife coach is, as Aisha was saying, my name is LB. I am the wife coach on Instagram. I help women who are married or one day planning to be, to get rid of the fairy tale syndrome, because real marriages don't live there. And I help women to create a more realistic version of what their marriage can be. I am also a very firm believer that all married women aren't wives. So as a wife coach, my whole goal is to help women to know the difference so they can be the difference, because there is a difference. And understanding who you are in your marriage lets you know whether or not you're living a happy wife life, lets you know whether or not you and your husband are meshing well. If you're getting on your nerves and you don't know why, maybe you need to check yourself first. So I always focus on me. That's one of the lessons I've learned as a wife, to not point the finger at my husband, but to look at how I can do things better. And that's exactly what I show my wives. I help them to be empowered in their position, because there is power in the P, which is your position as a wife. Yeah. So in a nutshell, that's what I do.
Awesome. So how did this come to be? Like, where did this come from? How did you come up with this brand? Tell us a little bit about what brought you to this and what was the vision or the motivation behind it.
Absolutely. And the funny thing about it is that you mentioned a key name that has a lot to do with this journey. I wrote my first book, Picture Perfect, in 2011. And I always start there because that book started my entrepreneurial journey. That book opened up so many doors, Aisha, from me trying to connect with people when I first got started as an author, and I would send my book off to different people. And I actually sent my book off to somebody by the name of Corey Yale. And at the time, Corey had the Single Wives Club. And so the Single Wives Club was single wives, basically women who wanted to be married and needed to prepare for marriage. So I was like, wait a minute, hold up, that's me. That's what I do. So I sent my book to her. She and I connected. She brought me out to one of her members only events here in Atlanta. I spoke for about maybe 15, 20 minutes. And at the end, she said, okay, you're my wife. You're not going anywhere. Now I'm like, well, you know, I mean, I like men. I mean, do what you do. I like men. I just want you to know. But what she was meaning is like, I need you to understand that I have the Single Wives Club, and I also want to do a mentorship for my women who needs to be mentored by women who are wives. Like, I'm not a wife. So I need somebody who's married that can actually help these women to get ready for marriage. And so I became the director of the Wives Society, which was the official mentoring program for the Single Wives Club. So I promise you, Aisha, that's where it started. From that moment on, I started coaching women. I started doing wives retreats, inviting single women to come in. And from there, I started one-on-one coaching to group coaching to now doing master classes. So it has literally been like a snowball, I guess, effect in how things are taking off with the Wife Coach.
That's amazing. And I love that you shared that part of the story, right? Because some of us don't see the value in bringing our sisters with us, right?
Yes.
And tapping into other people's strengths and areas of expertise that we may not have, and creating a space for our sisters, right?
Absolutely.
Not just trying to be so focused on our own brand, but opening it up and empowering other people. We love Corey for that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And like you said, the whole motivation was to show women of color, women of any nationality, that marriages can be successful. I mean, I came from a background where my parents, who are now divorced, they were married for 20 years, but I don't remember a marriage of love and happiness. I remember a couple who are married because that's just what you do. You have children, you get married, you go to work, you just live your life. But I didn't experience a peaceful household. I didn't experience my mother and father, really just vibing with each other and loving on each other. And so I wanted to show that that does exist. I mean, but it's not perfect. He's not perfect. I'm not perfect. But together we're picture perfect. And that's all marriage is. It's two imperfect people who are perfect for each other. So if I can showcase an example, hey, we doing all right for ourselves. We still like each other. We've been married almost 10 years. If I can showcase that, then that's to give the next woman hope that, their happily ever after does exist.
So when did you know you were on to something? Like, when did it kind of make that shift, like, okay, this could actually be a thing?
You know what? I started coaching indirectly through my book. So when I started getting people outside of my family, like, I love my family and my friends. Like, of course you want support from your family and friends. But to me, I made it when Aisha reached out to me. Like, that's when I made it. Because when I started seeing people, like you said, see the value. Like, wait a minute, her story ain't perfect. Like, they dated off and on for like 8 years. Wait a minute, hold up, he jilted her at the altar. All of these different things happen in my relationship, but yet we're still standing stronger than ever together. So if I can show that, and that's one thing I like to show. I like to show the ugly. I like to show the bad, but I also like to highlight the good, because it doesn't have to always be bad and ugly. There are some good things in it. All things work together for the good. And so I like to be able to show that. And it just took me, I think, with the Wives Society, I started seeing more women who I didn't know reaching out, benefiting. I was getting messages and DMs and people saying, you know what, this is really helping me. That's when I knew I was onto something, because I wasn't sure. I mean, there's a million wife coaches out there. There's a million women doing what I'm doing as well. And I love it because, hey, we need us. But when I started seeing people resonating with Tame Your Tongue Tuesdays, I knew I was onto something, Aisha. Like, okay, wait a minute. Too many women don't know how to talk to their men. Let me talk to you how I didn't know how to talk to Derek, because he was about to marry Mrs. Sarcastic. And how that was going to tear my relationship up with my words. So that's when I really knew that I was onto something.
So tell us about what you did before the Wife Coach. What was your experience, your background, and how has that helped you in building this brand?
Well, I'm a proud graduate of South Carolina State University. Yes.
Go Bulldogs. I'm a Gamecock. It's okay.
Okay. And I have a degree in professional English. I thought I was going to be in radio. I thought I was going to actually write in magazines, which I did for a little bit. But my real professional career was in education. I became a classroom teacher. I taught middle school language arts for 5 years. 3 of those years were all boys. As you can see, I'm a full-time entrepreneur now. But I was a classroom teacher. But I knew, even in that journey, that I wasn't going to be here for 30 years. Like, I couldn't picture myself being in the classroom for 30 years. So I said, if I stay in education, I'll become a principal. And thought that I was actually working on my leadership degree. Went back to school and then decided to write Picture Perfect. You know, somebody was telling me, my good friend was like, you need to write about your experience with you and Derek because it's inspiring. And so I was like, okay, wrote about, you know, my experience. And from there, just started to take the steps necessary to enter entrepreneurship. I didn't know anything about entrepreneurship, y'all. Like, I wrote a book and I'm like, okay, I wrote a book. But I had no idea that that was going to start the whole journey of me, you know, getting out here coaching wives, started my publishing company. I have a publishing company as well. So I had no idea because I was a classroom teacher and I was going to be content with being there until I realized that that wasn't for me.
Wow. So just sidebar, if anybody has any questions for LB, you can start putting them in the comments at the end. We're going to try to get to as many as we possibly can. So any questions, no holds barred, anything you want to ask. If it's too crazy, we just won't answer it. No, I'm just kidding. But ask your questions. We want you to really be able to engage with her tonight as well. So you mentioned, you know, the fact that you didn't consider yourself an entrepreneur at first. You just wrote a book and didn't really realize, like, wow, I'm about to be an entrepreneur. Right. So I can imagine that might have started off a little rocky for you. What were some of the difficult lessons that you had to learn that now looking back, you wish somebody would have told you?
Aisha, let me tell you something. My parents were, you know, 9-to-5ers. I grew up in a household where I was taught, you go to school, you get a good education, you graduate, you get you a good government job, get you some good government benefits. You work till you're about 65, and then you live your life and enjoy it. So I had that mindset. So when I stepped out on entrepreneurship, and I married an entrepreneur. Okay, my husband didn't marry an entrepreneur. I became one. So when I stepped out in entrepreneurship, let me tell you something. I jumped too soon. Let me just put it out there. I jumped too soon. In 2012, I had a decision to make. Either I was going to continue teaching and sign a provisional license. I had a provisional license that was expiring. Either I was going to continue or I was going to take a leap of faith. And at that time, I had The Secret. I read The Secret. I was watching the movie. I had all this law of attraction. I'm like, oh, all I got to do is believe, and it's going to happen. And I took that leap of faith, and I fell flat on my face. It was very rough the first couple of years because I didn't know how to really understand the freedom that I was given. Like, really not being told what to do. You got to be mature enough for that. You got to be mature to create a schedule to where you are running a business like a business. You can't be going to lunch every day like the housewives. Like, you got it like that. So all of this was a mindset shift. I had to really change my mind. I thought that, you know, I just could go continue to get my hair done. I was wearing sew-ins. I mean, just all of this, I was very immature when it came to entrepreneurship. So it was rough because I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And I really thought that it was just going to work out for me. I wrote a book, people going to buy it, right? But after your family and friends stop supporting you in those ticket sales or the, you know, your book sales stop, then what? Like, it was like, okay, how am I supposed to eat? You ain't telling me about this part. So it was very rough. And I thank God that I had my husband because he knew the journey that I was on. He knew what I was about to encounter, but I didn't, you know, really consider it. I just really thought that it was going to happen. So me not knowing how I was going to make money other than selling books. After, you know, I didn't know how else to monetize my book after the, you know, the book sales or the excitement about the book being released first went away. So it was rough. It was very rough. So rough that I went back to work. Okay. See, people don't tell this part. I left teaching. I tried entrepreneurship for a good year and a half. Then said, you know what? I got to have some kind of stable income because this right here is too up and down. I don't know what's going on. I had a great relationship with my principal at the time who knew what I was doing. And she supported me. But she's like, LB, you got kids. You got a husband. You got a family. You need benefits. You need you to come on in here and you take this role. I was a parent liaison at her school. And that way I could still work on my books. I could still work on my editing, do all the things I was doing, right? But at the same time, I had some stable income coming in until I finally left. And I've been full-time for 4 years now.
Incredible. So three tips that you give to somebody else who is trying to decide about making that leap, or early in their, process of entrepreneurship that you learned that you think that they should take with them.
I'll give you 4.
All
And
right.
it's an
That's even
acronym.
better.
It's called QUIT.
Okay.
Okay. It's
Okay.
an acronym that's called QUIT. So the Q stands for quiet your mind and connect to God. Like, you really got to get clear on what your purpose is. Connect to
I hope
God.
y'all writing this down. Quiet your mind and what?
Quiet your mind and connect to God. Like, connect to spirit. Really connect to him and ask him, okay, what is it that you put in me? What's my purpose? What are my purposes? Because you may have more than one. What is it that and how am I supposed to actually live this out? What are my steps? Like, order my steps. Just get really clear on what it is your purpose. God said your purpose is. You understand your purpose. Now, first you're getting clear and quiet in your mind. Now you're getting understanding on what your purpose really is. So for me, I knew that my purpose was to help women in their relationships, but I didn't know how I was going to actually help women in their relationships other than with my book, or other than with, at the time I found Co and I was doing the mentoringship, but there was no real financial benefit there. You see what I'm saying? So I had to understand my purpose. I initiate a plan. So now I have to initiate. I didn't have a real plan other than faith. And I'm not saying, faith is the substance of things hoped for. It's the evidence of things not yet seen. I get it, y'all. I had all the faith in the world until them checks.
However.
And I kept getting a power bill, and I kept getting my mortgage statement. I'm like, wait a minute, faith ain't paying this? What's going on? So you got to initiate a plan.
Because faith without works is dead.
How am I going to pay? And I wish I would have saved up more money. Things that I could have done before the first time around that I didn't do. So initiate a plan, and then T, take action. And that action may be working your full-time 9 to 5 and then building your business on the side. And slowly transitioning, because I had this whole mindset, Aisha, that, and this is entrepreneurship on social media. I was sucked in. I saw people starting businesses today, and in 2 months, they made $100,000. How y'all do that? I want to do that too. Thinking I can do it, thinking it's real. I mean, it's probably about 99.9% not real, but I'm just saying, there's 0.1% out there. But I thought that was going to be me because I took this leap of faith, and it didn't happen. So take action. Slowly work yourself out of your 9 to 5. Be comfortable with replacing your salary first. How am I going to go from making a teacher salary between $35,000 and $40,000 a year, thinking I'm going to just step out on faith and make that same amount when I had no plan in place? I didn't know how I was going to monetize my book outside of just book sales. I didn't know how I was going to, coach and things like that. So that's how you quit. You quiet your mind, you understand your purpose, you initiate a plan, and you take action.
That's good stuff. Thank you. Yes, I hope y'all got that. So again, if you have any questions for LB, even some relationship questions, she'll take a couple tonight. Go ahead and drop them in. So tell us why you think this piece about relationships, being a wife or preparing to be a wife, what is the connection between that and entrepreneurship, right? Since we are sisters in business, so many of us are either one or the other, either a wife, or used to be wife, or want to be wife, or not really interested, but still might want some companionship and relationship. How does that impact our success and our abilities as entrepreneurs?
Well, one, because I think at the end of the day, I'm creating a legacy with my family. I am a wife, yes, I'm a mom, and I have my sisters, right? But I am letting my sisters know through relationships that this journey that we're on, you need somebody. I feel like you definitely need somebody that's going to help you pull through. My husband is my number one supporter, my number one fan. And so for him to support me on this journey and me to see the impact, I'm not just having impact on my family and the legacy I'm building, but on other people's family, on other, sisters, and helping them to see, like, wait a minute, I can be an entrepreneur. I can still be a happy wife. I can still be my mom. I can somewhat find harmony in it all, because balance is bull. I don't believe in balance. I believe in finding harmony. So if I can show you how to do that, then you realize, like, wait a minute, maybe the 9 to 5, I can have a side hustle, or I can become an entrepreneur, or just seeing that the possibilities are there. So I think that's what's important. Really showing someone, again, being the example that if LB can do it, and she was working 9 to 5, she transitioned not once but twice, because she had to get it right the second time. And now 4 years going strong, I'm like, there's no looking back. I got it now. And I'm showing women that, hey, they can do it. My husband happy, my children happy, they quiet, thank God. But things are working out. So I think that's how it works hand in hand.
So, you know, I hate to say this, but I think in the overwhelming majority, many of the very successful women in business, particularly women of color, who lead, you know, major corporations or their own endeavors, are single.
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
Talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Let me tell you why. Because this is the thing, and I know we are out here killing it, and I love it. But what happens is when a man and a woman get together, somebody got to be the alpha, and somebody else got to play their feminine role. And so what happens is you the CEO, you the boss lady, you running things at work, and then you come home and you got that same attitude. And it's kind of hard because the man is trying to figure out where's my place in this. So sometimes that can turn men off to where you don't need me. And it's not that I don't want women to feel like, well, I shouldn't have to need a man. I need my husband, y'all. I'm just going to be honest with you. Can I do well without him? I can, but I'll do better with him. And so my attitude is, let me understand what submission really looks like in my relationship. Sometimes women don't know how to submit. They think I'm cussing at them right now by saying submission. But submission is just yielding. Just really understanding that, hey, both of us can't be, you know, bumping heads. Both of us can't be in leadership at this moment. Fall back and let him be the man. That's what he was built to do. Let him be the man of your household. Let him be the head. But how can you do that if you're so used to being the boss? So it's like they don't know how to turn that off. And I think that's what it is. My sister, honestly, I love my sister. She fly. She's a boss lady. She's doing well for herself. But she's single. She's 45 years old. And she's ready to, you know, get married. But it's like, what is it? Is it my success? Is it what's turning these men off? Am I giving off, you know, like I don't need you kind of attitude? And that's actually something I'm actually working on this summer for my singles. 4 ways to prepare for what you've been praying for. Because that could be it. The energy that you're giving off that you don't need nobody. You know, they don't like to hear the word intimidation. But you could be intimidating men to feel like I have nothing to add to your life. I have no value. So that's why you're still single.
So what do you say to the women who say, and I'm talking because I've been there.
Look at you.
You know, that I might have to choose, right? Because, you know, do I have to choose between being the powerful, you know, successful entrepreneur or becoming a wife? Because everybody I meet seems not to be able to handle the powerful, successful entrepreneurial woman. And I'm just asking for the people.
I don't feel like you got to choose, though. You know, I think at the end of the day, you just got to find a man that's going to compliment you. And maybe you're just not finding or attracting the right man in your life. I would look at me. I would always go to me and figure, okay, well, why am I still attracting maybe emotionally unavailable men? Or why am I attracting men who, you know, they cool for the first 3 dates and then they don't like me no more and they go away and I can't find them. They fall off the face of the earth. What is it about the energy that I'm possibly giving off? Am I not giving, you know, Joe a chance that he my friend? We've been friends for years, but, you know, he's just my friend. Like, am I not giving him a chance that he's a possibility? He's been there. He's seen the growth. He's seen who I am. So I don't know. I think it's just about understanding what that looks like to have both and that it may not be perfect. It may not be, I got the boss man, I'm the boss woman, and we up here bossing it up. It may not be that. You might, your Prince Charming might be Shrek. And I like saying that. And people always think I'm thinking about or I'm talking about his looks. No, he may come in a different package. You may be overlooking your knight in shining armor, but he might be the janitor. I'm just saying. Maybe he has the vision to start his own company, but he hasn't been in position to do that yet or whatever. So it's not that you got to choose. I really believe that you can have it all, but sometimes you just can't have it all at once.
Yeah. So you have no question been able to build an amazing brand in just a few years, really, you know, that since you started. What do you attribute to your success, to your large following, to the impact that you're having? What would you attribute to that others might be able to implement themselves?
And I know, you know what? I did an interview last night and somebody from my past who's seen the growth on his show. And he said, LB, one of the things I admire the most is your consistency. And I was like, Like, I mean, you know how you're consistent, but to hear somebody else say that means that they're watching. I'm like, I have been consistent. Like, I contribute consistency. I contribute crying at night. I contribute not knowing, you know, where the next step is going to come from or where my next move is going to be. I contribute going through the process as part of my success, because I've learned to trust it. I've learned to truly just understand, if this is what you say you want to do, let's get out here and figure it out. Sometimes I fail, but I you know, in the failures where all the lessons are planted. And I learn those lessons, and I learn from them and allow myself to move forward on this journey. So consistency is one. He was like, you know, most people get out here with entrepreneurship. They start off, you know, selling cookies, and then 5 years later they selling shapers, or you know what I mean? They opened up a gym. Right. So that I really think consistency is one of the main things that has helped me to stay successful, because the messaging has gotten clearer. I've gotten clear on my vision. God has downloaded just different ideas, and I've been true. I've been tested many times to want to quit. Many times. To want to just say, you know what? Them kids wasn't that bad. They really right. I got the summers on. I got a little paycheck. Right. Go back to the school. So when I didn't quit and I kept going, I started seeing, oh my God, I'm getting connected with, again, just amazing people, and seeing everything just play out. So definitely consistency is the way.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we're going to have our last question. So again, if you have any questions for LB of any kind, relationship, entrepreneurship, otherwise, go ahead and put them in the comments so we can get to them. So let folks know what's on the horizon. What are you working on? How can they connect with you? What are your projects for this year and beyond that they can look forward to?
Absolutely. Well, I am super excited because I'm entering my last week of my masterclass. I have a 6-week masterclass called Teach Me How to Be a Wife. And I am taking my women, it's an intimate group of wives and wives-to-be, through my course of really understanding how to talk to your man, how to show up as the wife and not the married woman. How to really tap into your power, how to, you know, be intimate with him, how to communicate with him, all of the things that we need to know how to do in our relationships. And so I am actually starting my next class in July 15th. So enrollment is open for that. I also have a masterclass that I'm actually releasing tomorrow. The information is going out to my email list. So if you are a single woman who has been praying for her man, and you want to prepare for that man, I'm showing you how to do that. So it's 4 ways to prepare for what you've been praying for. And if you join my email list, LakiaBrandenburg.com, you can just click the link in my bio. You'll be one of the first to get the info on how to enroll. So those are the 2 things that I'm working on. I'm actually about to have my VIP day for my wives on the 25th of May. So after being online for 6 weeks, I get to meet them in person, Aisha. How cool is that?
Yes, right? It's cool. So I saw the footage from last time. It was amazing.
It's so dope. Like, just I have wives in California, Chicago, Boston. Now I have wives traveling from Alabama, from Charlotte, Tennessee, you know, all of these different areas. Pittsburgh. It's just so dope to see, again, the impact, and to see women really finding value in what I'm doing. And I'm just happy to have that impact in their marriages, because at the end of the day, I want you to be happy. You happy? Right. I'm happy. Now we can vibe. I don't want to be around miserable women. Let me show you how to tap into your happiness. So that's what I have going on. So definitely keep up with me through my email list, and definitely on social media.
So give them your website and all that stuff so they can be sure to connect with you.
I'm going to try to type it in there too. It's LakiaBrandenburg.com. I'm going to type it into the comments. And I did see a comment that I wanted to respond to, if that's okay, Aisha.
Of course, go right ahead.
Okay. Thinking big, where did it go? There she go. I think she's commenting on the about the men who are maybe intimidated. If they are intimidated, they don't have the confidence to lead. Insecure men are in existence. Some don't feel that they have the capacity to be a leader. And that's very true. And this is the thing too. We expect our men, I don't know where this comes from, Aisha, but we expect our men to just know how to lead us. We expect them. Why? When I didn't know how to be a wife. Like, why do I expect my man to know how to be a husband when I didn't know how to be a wife? And so maybe he wasn't in a situation where he had to lead. Maybe his mother, you know, babied him. Who knows? You know, whatever the case may be, where he couldn't stand up to be that man. Now, I'm not telling you that you got to teach him how to lead you, but at the same time, you got to understand that the intimidation may not be insecurity. It may just be like, what can I offer her? Like, you got it all. Like, I'm still getting my ish together. Or, you know, maybe I don't, know how to lead you because you always in the lead. Do you see what I'm saying? Like sometimes we have to submit ourselves, man, you know what? Let me step back so that this man can step up and be the man I need him to be. How can he learn how to fly if I'm constantly telling him, okay, let me tell you what to do. All you gotta do is do this. Trying to lead him when I want him to lead. So I think that's important to understand as well. I just wanted to address that. Thank you for that comment, though.
You have another question from Tab on Insta, who says, can you give a quick tip on prioritizing home duties with business demands?
Oh,
and then she says, asking for a friend.
I know who that friend is. You. So look, let me tell you something about prioritizing. You have to create a list every week. And one thing, people hear balance all the time. Balance is going to look different every day of the week. It is. If you look at a pie chart, you know how a pie chart equals 100%? 50% of that pie chart might be your children. 10% might be you. 20% might be your man. Whatever it is that's important to you, it's going to look different. And so I think it's important that you create a to-do list and you prioritize, like, what would be the most effective for me to complete today? And let me tell you another thing I got rid of: multitasking. That is the devil when you are an entrepreneur, because I have almost driven myself crazy trying to do too much at one time. Multitasking was dope at the schoolhouse. You know what I mean? Because I was on somebody else's time. I had to figure out how to teach these children, have my planning, all these different things. So when it comes to entrepreneurship, do one thing, get it done. Because what happens is we're doing so many things at one time that nothing ever gets completed. So top three things: what's going to make me feel most complete? What's going to make me feel most satisfied? What's going to make me feel most accomplished this week if I get it done? It can be a small task. It can be a larger task, but I think that's important. On Sunday night, prioritize your week. Make sure you put yourself on that list, and make sure if you are married, you put your man on that list, because they get neglected. We neglect ourselves during this entrepreneurial grind. So that's to stop yourself from doing it. Put yourself on your own list as well. Okay, friend.
How do you think, in that same vein, how do you think that folks can address, again, balance is bull, but just juggling the demands of entrepreneurship and the demands of relationships or marriage?
That's good. I think you need to define what success looks like for you. Because in 2011, Aisha, I thought success meant I had to be a millionaire. I have to have this amount of money in the bank, or I'm not going to be happy, or I'm not going to feel successful. And so when I really, after all these years, of still grinding, I started really understanding what success looked like. And for me, it's not those things at all. I ain't got to have $100,000 in the bank. I'm going to be honest with you. That's just me. That's LB. Define what success looks like for you. But happiness for me is important. Peace for me is important. So that's how I balance it. Because I'm like, you know what? My children bring me joy. Yes, I'm at a position right now where I can take days off. In the beginning, I had to discern the season that I was in, y'all. I was grinding because I needed every dollar that came my way. But now I can discern, like, you know what? All money ain't good money. I don't know if I really want to work with this person. So I can turn down things. So I think that's important, to really understand what success looks like. Your relationship is just as important. The most valuable asset or resource we have is time. When time goes away, my kids are going to grow up. I want to be a part of their childhood. Like, I really want to understand what's going on. When this live is over, I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to connect with my girls. I'm going to talk to them. We're going to watch Tangled for the 50th time, 100th time. We're going, so that's important to me. That's what success looks like for me. So I think when you define what success looks like for your relationship, for your business, and now align your work ethic to that. Now align your weeks to that, to understand that every day is not going to be, shouldn't have to be a grind day, but in the beginning, you may be doing that. Come on, Aisha, when you first start, you're trying to figure this thing out.
Girl.
So it's hard. I don't care how glamorized entrepreneurship looks like. This thing is hard.
That's right. And it's not just love relationships. Every relationship in your life needs to understand that.
Yes.
Your parents, your friends, a lot of people are not going to get it, or not going to understand.
That's very true. And ask for, support. That's one thing my sister and I were talking about today. She was like, what does support look like? Like, what does that mean? And I said, you have to define what support looks like for you. When I took that leap of faith and my husband supported, which means My husband could have been like, I ain't signed up for this. When I married you, you were a good 9-to-5 girl. You were going to work for, 30 years.
With benefits.
With my good benefits. But then now all of a sudden you get an aha moment and you come to Jesus and say, okay, I want to be free. I want to be an entrepreneurship. I needed his support. And I thank God for it because he knew what was ahead of me. One of the most valuable things he told me, Aisha, and I was so mad at him when he told me this then, he said it takes 15 years to become an overnight success story. He told me that at the very beginning. And when I tell y'all, I cussed him out. I like, gonna take who? Take me what? 15 years?
Right.
What you talking about?
Right.
All I gotta do is this. They said if I do this and I post and I stay consistent, I'm be good. Now 7 years later, I'm like, okay, I get it.
Just getting a groove.
You're right. Okay, you're right. So I just think that's very important. You got to truly understand what that looks like for you and just go for it.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you. I feel like I want to keep talking, but I guess I should let you go.
I'm so excited. I love this.
I know. Tell everybody about, we're coming back to Atlanta. Tell everybody about your experience at the Sisters in Business Expo in Atlanta.
Well, first of all, let me give it up for my Black folks because, we have our moments where we like, okay, wait a minute, it's going to be a Black event. Is it going to be organized? Are we going to start on time? Let me tell y'all, can I keep it 100% real? And when I tell y'all I was so impressed, Aisha, from pulling up, like, first of all, your email correspondence is on point. I don't know if it's you or your team, but when I say she keeps you, because I was a part of it, but she keeps you informed of what's going on. I am up to date on everything. So from the moment I pulled into the parking lot, just the directions from, having just signs out there to lead you into the actual expo, walking in, being greeted by, y'all had at least 100 volunteers. Everybody had on shirts. If I turned around and asked for anything, when I say everybody was there, just welcoming, good energy. Just when I say my Black people are beautiful, like, I love us. I was so proud, and just to see the vendors and all their amazing businesses and their products and the amazing speakers you had. Girl, when y'all coming back to Atlanta?
September 7th.
When I say I had an amazing time, I was so impressed and just was like, wow, how have I not known about this before? You know what I mean? Like, have y'all been to Atlanta before? Because, I was like,
we hadn't been nowhere before. Last year was our first year.
Let me tell you something. Well, it's here to stay because we're looking forward to you come. That's one of my must-attend events when you come to Atlanta. So thank you so much for just starting. I know that was probably, challenging within itself to get started. You didn't even go there. But to see what you are doing and the impact it's having, it's definitely bomb, and I cannot wait. September 7th, I cannot wait to be there.
Well, thank you. Listen, y'all, that question wasn't even on our questions that we said we was going to talk about. Half of these questions weren't, but that one definitely wasn't. And I ain't pay her to say that. So that means so much. We have some members on our team, from our team, who are on too. One just put a smiley face, Friday Ferry, who's our volunteer coordinator. So we do work really hard. We really do. And that sentiment has been consistent since day one, when we didn't even expect it. People just have raved about the experience, and that's what we are committed to, to really providing high quality and no slack, no low budget. It ain't gonna be that Black event.
It was
not gonna be that Black event.
It was very nice. Music, DJ, bomb DJ. It was just amazing.
So thank you. I appreciate that. And yes, everybody, we will be back in Atlanta on September 7th. So if you're interested in participating, if you want to be a vendor, tickets will be on sale by the end of the month. So you can stay tuned for that. Make sure you join our mailing list as well to get all the updates. And if you want to be a vendor or sponsor or partner of any kind, just click the email address in our bio. Wix and Juan says, do you have an event manager? Yes, we have an event management team. We go to four cities. So we have a team that manages our events from city to city. And it's definitely a team effort. Absolutely. So yes. Thank you so much. I'm about to let you go. Two other quick things. I was like, where'd she go?
No. Trying to scroll through the comments.
Oh, okay. If you have not already heard about our Sisters in Business University, which kicked off. We announced it at the Newark Expo on April 13th. We held our first webinar on April 29th or something around there, but it happened already. So the Sisters in Business University is our teaching and training platform where we actually will be providing instruction and resources and tools to sisters in business. You can only get but so much information at the actual event. We want to be sure that you have what you need to succeed beyond that experience. So make sure that you are on our mailing list to get the information on the next scheduled dates for the Sisters in Business University. And then also our prayer cast happen every Monday at 7 a.m. Where we gather for live prayer with our sisters in business, because so God said we need to pray. We can grind all day long, we can connect and all that stuff, but you need a power greater than you to make your business succeed. And so we've been having an amazing time. We've been doing that since January. So the prayer cast is every Monday, 7 a.m. And you can get the registration link for that also in our bio or on our website. And yeah, just stay connected. Our next stops are Philly, July 13th, Columbia, South Carolina, August 10th, and Atlanta, September 7th. So Philly and Columbia tickets are on sale. Philly vendor spaces are almost sold out. So if you're interested in any of that, all the information is on our website. As always, I love to shout out our sisters in business. Today, I'm wearing Adorned by V. Y'all know that I never met a button earring I didn't like. And these are my newest to the collection. Girl, it's bad. It's bad. So this is Adorned by V. My shirt is Proverbs clothing. It says pray. And they have an amazing face line of apparel, Proverbs clothing. So check them out. And my lipstick is Mademoiselle. All sisters in business. So make sure you check out those brands as we continue. Go ahead, girl.
Okay, so Sisters in Business. Let me give it out to my makeup artist, Antoinette. This is Ariel Antoinette.
Yes.
Called Chrissy. And this right here is Stylish Diva, Stylish I Diva on Instagram. Y'all want to get y'all some cute little bracelets. That was cute. I like that. That's it. But I'm gonna need some button earrings because those are cute.
Girl, Adorned by V.
Okay.
Tell the bracelets again.
Stylish I Diva. Stylish
okay. EYE.
EYE.
Okay.
Yep,
okay. Tevra or our girls are typing it in, so they will put it in there. Stylish I Diva, and you said the lipstick
Ariel
was
Antoinette.
Yes, I've been following her too. Yeah,
she does
good
30-minute
stuff.
glam. She does your makeup literally in 30 minutes.
Really?
Bomb.
And she has her own
line
lipstick
line.
Okay.
So I have a red lip called Idolize, and this is Prissy.
Okay. Ain't got to tell me twice, because that's what we all about. We all about supporting our sisters in business, right?
Yes.
And spending our money where it matters most with the people who look like us and support us.
Exactly.
So thank you so much. We wish you, of course, continued success. We love what you're doing. We love you. We thank you for your support. Anything you need from Sisters in Business, you got it. Just call, text, email, whatever.
Ditto.
And we will see you in the ATL, shawty.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Peace.